So, a trope that I've kind of begun hating more and more, because it's such a cliche, is the foolish scientist. They don't believe in the supernatural. They only believe in things that they have evidence to support their existence instead of just believing in, fucking Bigfoot and shit. And then, at the end, we'll have them encounter Bigfoot and they'll be like, oh, woe is me. I was stupid for wanting facts and evidence to back up my beliefs. Now that I have evidence that backs up a different belief, I know that I was wrong to want that evidence in the first place, and she'll have just, believed in Bigfoot from the start. And I think that's stupid. I think that's a stupid trope, and I hate it, and I think it's stupid. Did I mention I think it's stupid? I saw a play that had that as kind of its trope. You don't have arena trap, but what do you have? Guts. Guts is interesting. Actually, I should check out the other ones. Abilities. I didn't. Stench, that sucks. Unburden, Storm Drain, By the way, if you're wondering why I only have one egg in my party, it's because they tell you what the eggs are when you get them. So I know what those two other eggs that I got from Prima are. And they're a Cleffa egg and the Pichu egg. And you may be thinking, wait, don't I have those Pokemon already? Yeah, I've got those Pokemon already. Very useful. Great eggs, Prima. You're the best. That doesn't get pursuit, does it? No. What floor of this tower do we start getting the thingamajig? The wild Pokemon appearing is another thing I need. Is it this floor or the next one? It is this floor, and God, I'm in Weenie Hut Jr. Babyland with just terrible. At least it's not like a girl or not like a boy one. Let's see. You are Zeoxyman, and I'll just read those comments now. Let me turn on my comments. Zeoxyman. Okay, Zeoxyman. I never realized that all the minor trolls, except arguably Tavros, were Durst Dreamers, and even then, I think Tavros is more important than any of the Durst Dreamers, except maybe Aradia. Also, I have absolutely been an Equus apologist, though I think it's mostly because of his stupid strong moments tickled the caveman parts of my brain. I agree. Equus, he's a fun character. I don't dislike Equus. I think he's entertaining. I just think he's a bit of a dick. And I think that, the sanding off by fandom and, the just not wanting to engage with a story on its terms and discuss what's actually about in favor of, fanfiction tropes is, if you tunnel vision on his use as a comedy character, you kind of forget about all the terrible things he does and stands for. And you make a good point about Nepeta carrying the entire appeal of their relationship by herself. She does, although admittedly, Nepeta's kind of bland. She's kind of bland. Also, Feckless says, as an Aquarius, the fact that both trolls representing the sign in the canon story are unlikable kind of side characters was always a disappointment. Those were dark days having an Eridan profile picture in middle school. And, just because, that's, your star sign doesn't mean that has to be, your favorite troll and what you do your profile picture of. Why would you want Alright, I'm choice banded. Are you ice? Wait, ice doesn't resist. Intimidate on Bronzor is actually, assuming I read that right, is interesting. But you don't have to identify with a troll just because they're your star sign. Am I kind of eating good as a Scorpio? Am I kind of the fucking drawing of the guy who's drinking all the water and there's someone else dying of thirst as a Scorpio who likes Vriska? Sure, but yeah, Eridan sucks, but you can like him as a character who sucks. It's fun liking characters who suck. I love tons of characters who suck. But the problem isn't liking characters that suck. The problem is being unwilling to talk about the actual story and those characters and acknowledge that they suck. Another Combee. I don't need a Combee. I've already got a Combee, and Combee is good. I'm getting lots of Grash types, but I think Execute's actually probably the one that I'm going to add to my team. Execute's a pretty good Pokemon, and let's find another comment. I didn't pick out a third one because I forgot about this. Comment. Where's a good comment? Another one that's from Brunette that's talking about Equius. Let me turn on that. Equius is my favorite, and sometimes it's hard to say what I see in him, but generally even fans know to some extent that he's an asshole. I like Equius. He's a fun character. He's such a piece of shit, though. I don't like... I said it better in the video, what I had to say, Brunette. His character is so interesting and funny to me because of how exaggerated his characterization is, but so contradictory as an individual. He is the strongest, but ended up being very submissive in front of others, even with himself. He greatly respects the hierarchy and its ideals. A good way of showing how messed up the alternative society is. It's Alternia. It's not alternative. You're wrong in that spelling. And which one goes into the unknown hole with all the unknowns? Is it this one? You gotta go through these, or does this lead to a thing? I gotta do a puzzle. But ends up falling in love with the lower classes and helps them. It's a demonstration of toxic masculinity. Yeah, that's a good point. Equius is toxic masculinity. I should have said that. He has good qualities. He never hurt or threatened another troll. I don't know about that. I feel like kinda forcibly making out with someone's kind of hurting them. I guess he knows how strong he is, and that's why he's reserved. And he's quite helpful with his robotic parts. At the end of the day, he's the heir of Void, my free course guy with autism. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay. And what do I have wrong about you? I got the eye right there. I don't know what was wrong with that. But now we've got the unknowns. Yay, I fell and I broke my leg, and just give me the one unknown I want. A Carvanha, finally, a Pokemon that I'm actually excited about. Get into ball, Carvanha, as I pull up one more comment, and then I'll rearrange my team and plan out fighting against the guy, the Faulkner. I'm kind of confused on a few details. What even makes a good story if not the characters? I think it's the complexity and the emotions you feel. Not like characters being fun contributes to a story, but it's not just like I like this character's design. That isn't enough for it to be a good story. Like Nepeta is funny and like cute. That isn't what makes a good story. That can help make her endearing, but you have to do interesting things with her as a character. You know, it's not that characters are completely unrelated from how good it is as a story. It's just that, like, viewing a story through, it's good if good things happen to the characters I like, and bad if bad things happen to the characters I like, which I've even got comments like that. I was like, was I too harsh on the Homestuck fans? And then I get a video where it's like, I hate Andrew Hussey because he was mean to Pfeffery and is a terrible author. And I'm like, you know what? I wasn't mean enough on Homestuck characters. Isn't a purely dualistic view reductive to any story, especially Homestuck? Yeah, that's a fair point. Why does it feel like even you're unsure of how to view it? You know, that's a fair point. You make some good points, the Pfeffery portion especially, but only this whole video feels like a grab bag of opinions with very little respect to the characters as people. It's not characters as people, though. They aren't people. It's how they serve the story and the themes and what those characters are about. It's what their arcs are about. I get that they aren't, but you can't write a character story with cardboard cutouts. People latch onto these characters because they're characters, and one of the cornerstones of writing is making characters with enough stuff to get attached to you. Your argument about favorites is valid, but the way you present it made it seem like a catch-all for all arguments. The characters are harder to define than just an asshole. I'll end this on the short and on a good note. Overall, it was a pretty okay video, and I would suggest the next time you do a direct criticism of someone else's view of the story. No, I'm not gonna fucking. No, I'm not vague posting about a video about Aridin. I don't know. I'm not vague posting. Well, I guess it wouldn't be vague posting. It would be like directly saying this guy sucks and doesn't know what he's talking about. And I'm not doing that. I I have my, oh, you go in trash. You're trash. You're almost trash, but this is the trash box for the trash. And that Combee goes in trash because it has a penis. No, I don't want to respond and do like call out like this is why this guy is wrong about Aridin. I don't want that. I talk a lot about the Homestuck fandom, but how do I want to phrase this? Suction cups, storm drain, and neither of those are particularly because it's almost all. Just rearranging moves. Updated damage to like modern gen, by the way. But I think that comment has a good point. It is a video that is kind of scattershot and grab bag because it's talking about so many characters. But like, my point is, you should view a story on its terms. You know, as in, what is this story trying to say with these characters? Not like, like if it's a tragedy and it's like, wow, this thing is sad that happens to this character, then treat it on those terms, not on, oh man, I like the character, so I don't want her to have died, you know? I don't know. Speaking of video essays, how are my video essays going? Well, I've written out pretty much all of my next one, which is going to be one of the 2 back-to-back One Piece videos, and oh, right, I'm going to have to fight 2 Pokemon back-to-back now. Nah. I've got that one written out mostly, the one about One Piece epithets. Wow, you have a really short view distance. And then the other one is going to be just talking about Blackbeard and why Blackbeard's a great villain, and also why he could never be king of the pirates because he's an asshole. Hey, another thing, like I don't think Ichiro Oda is a bad author and say, man, I hate him. Someone else should have written One Piece because of what he did to Ace. Ace didn't deserve that. Like, nah. But yeah, I'm working on that. Actually, I should bring on my schedule as I'm saying this. I realize I haven't for a few parts, so it's got more things on this. I'm working on that. I'm writing a bit on a sequel to Miss Valley called Miss Valley Homecoming. I'm working on that trolley problem game, which actually tonight I'm going to put out the first video about that probably. I was going to do it yesterday, but it's a hassle, and it's like, oh, good. Scan this QR code, and then the QR code doesn't work, and I'm like, why I gotta scan the goddamn QR code? Like, let me set this up later. But yeah, I'm working on stuff. I moved into my new town. I got my two weeks into my new job. Things are going good. Everything's looking up, Millhouse. If Millhouse was me. If Millhouse was me. Okay, I'm pretty sure you can buy the Flash Gem, so I hope this is a good one. Cherry Berry. Oh, right, that replaces not the Flash Gem. It replaces the escape rope. This is the Flash TM. So yeah, what I was saying earlier is I watched a play put on by the local community college as a thing to write about for the local paper that I now work for, and it was a play called A Rock Sails By. It's like about a scientist and a reporter debating like, wow, there's this asteroid that's coming near the Earth. Do you think it's aliens? No, I think that's just unlikely. I'd like it to be aliens, but I think the evidence doesn't really support that conclusion. But, yeah, but like, what if you're wrong? Like, why don't you just be faith and believe in things without evidence? Ice Punch, repeatable Ice Punch. Who can learn Ice Punch? Like, and it's just like, you know, faith is really valid, and you shouldn't say, I don't think this thing is true, because what if you're wrong? What if you thinking science is important and you should only believe it in things based on evidence? What if that makes you wrong sometimes when new evidence comes out? Like, aren't you stupid? Don't you feel stupid now that the aliens showed up? You're so dumb to have not believed it was aliens before you had any proof it was aliens. God, science is basically a religion. And they're just scientists are just so stupid, and they don't want to believe in things because they don't have evidence for them, and that makes them wrong because, like, what if there was I'm ranting, and I think that whole shit is dumb. Like, if you believe in if you say, I'm only going to believe in things based on the evidence available, and then you change your mind based on new evidence, that's not you being wrong. That's not you being hypocritical. That's you just sticking by your principles instead of getting lucky. You know, I talked about this in that big-ass 10-plus hour video I made on Jeffrey Epstein, where I was, like, annoyed, admittedly, because I was wrong and other people were right about the, like, there were people before we had any evidence of it saying, I bet Jeffrey Epstein did intelligence work and like it as a conspiracy theory, and I didn't believe in it because we didn't really have the evidence. And then we got the evidence, and I changed my mind to believe in that evidence we now have. And I don't think I really count as being wrong in that, because yes, what I believe was later proven to be incorrect once new data became available. But so what? That's fine. You're never going to be. If you take shots in the dark, you're going to be wrong more often than if you believe in only what you have evidence for. And that's Pokemon are replaced, but it's level 9 Pidgey and level 13 Pidgeotto. That's how it's pronounced. Don't at me. So I'm going to get 2 more levels on Carvana, and then I'll go in for that. And actually, I should grab some trash for sacrifices. Gotta sacrifice the trash. That's its purpose. You're more trash. So, you have an old Amber? Oh, you are useful. I mean, not till the post game, but you are theoretically a Pokemon that could have use. Oh, good. Good. Wait, hold on. This is the Bellsprout one. Gotta set it as different. I will take your old Amber, which I can't do anything with yet, but I'm glad that you had that useless male Combee that shouldn't exist. I don't know if I've ever caught a female Combee. It's always that's so dumb. Like, I don't hate it that much, but it's such a rare Pokemon, and then there's a decent chance. Oh, right, I forgot. I pressed the button to give gym leaders more Pokemon to make the game more challenging. Why did I press that button? Whatever. Easily take out Zigzagoon. Lose half my health in the process, and then you switch to Nidoran, and I kill with Wing Attack, and then you still got Pidgey. I guess Pidgey does count as a Pokemon that has similar stats to Pidgey. And then Shieldon is problem. What do you know yet? Do you know ground moves yet? No. What do you know yet? Do you know water moves yet? No. I think my best is just to overpower it. Did it just taunt me? Does it not have any super effective moves, or did I not recognize that animation? Okay, I think I do. Metal Sound is special defense, right? I think Metal Sound. Okay. Yeah, Metal Sound is special defense, and I'm pretty sure, a physical attacker. So that's Tackle, Metal Sound, and Taunt? That's a bad. Yeah, and Protect. Wow, that is a terrible starting moveset. Okay, give me a TM. What is my TM? As reward for beating you, and this will probably be the end of this. And the TM is. Where do I get the Rock Smash TM? Because I need that for items. Crush Claw. That is interesting. I think that would actually be good early on, because like strength isn't changed. So, but early on, I will take Crush Claw on my Staravia. I've got a good team starting out. This is pretty good, and I will go. Will they tell me what the Togepi egg is? I don't think they tell you what the Togepi is. Actually, it's weird that they've got the like Prima gift, so you can get eggs before the egg tutorial. It's also weird that there's an egg tutorial in this game and no other game. Because, I mean, it was new. Eggs were new in Generation 2. But still, I'm going to temporarily leave you so we can check out what the new egg is. And also I could deposit the Bellsprout egg because there's a few Pokemon I like more than it at this point. Hello, Uncle Delivery Man. Thank you for the super potion. Wait, no. You're the guy I looked for. Yes. Egg? Yes, but what is it? You just said egg. Yeah. Egg. What in the egg? Oh, right. I can get items here. Too expensive. But it's good to know that's where King's Rock is. Hello, Kimono Girl. I don't care. It's weird that this is like the Japan region of Pokemon, because they're all Japan. Well, the first 4 are Japan, but like this one is especially like traditional Japanese, like the Kimono and the architecture. And yeah, that's probably going to end it for this week. And that play I was ranting about is actually better than I made it sound. It isn't that bad, but I do think that just like scientists, you'd be wrong if there was new evidence. Well, yes, that's how fucking science works. That's how, like, changing your views based on evidence does not stop being. Well, I just think it's stupid. Anyway, next time we're gonna do that cave that's kind of forgettable and stupid and go down to the Bug Town. And oh, actually, Bugsy might be interesting because Bugsy will have. It'd be cool if Bugsy ended up with the Scyther because it's trading out Pokemon by equal strength Pokemon. Awesome, nailed it in one.